In the vast and diverse landscape of African politics, one name stands out as a symbol of hope and change: Captain Ibrahim Traore. Hailing from the West African nation of Burkina Faso, Traore's remarkable rise to power has earned him a title of Africa's youngest president. Formerly known as Upper Volta, Burkina Faso gained independence from France in 1960. The early years of the newly formed nation were marked by political instability, with a series of military coups and authoritarian regimes governing the country. Despite this turmoil, Burkina Faso managed to maintain its rich cultural heritage and resilience of its people. The pivotal turning point in Burkina Faso's history came in 1983 when Thomas Sankara, charismatic and visionary leader, assumed power through a military coup. Sankara's presidency was characterized by radical and progressive policies aimed at transforming the country. He sought to empower the impoverished masses, eradicate corruption, and promote self-sufficiency. Under Sankara's leadership, Burkina Faso made remarkable strides in various sectors, including education, healthcare, and women's rights. He actively encouraged public participation in governance, pushing for grassroots democracy and national pride. However, his unyielding stance against foreign interference and debt made him a target for international opposition. Tragically, Sankara's reign was short-lived. In 1987, he was assassinated in a coup led by his former ally, Blaise Compaoré, who subsequently took control of Burkina Faso. In the aftermath of Sankara's assassination, Burkina Faso witnessed decades of political stability under Compaoré's rule. However, his prolonged presidency was marred by accusations of human rights abuses and increasing discontent among the population. Born in 1984, Captain Ibrahim Traore grew up in the shadow of Thomas Sankara's legacy. He studied at the University of Ouagadougou, where he was part of an association of Muslim students. He graduated from the university with honors. Traore joined the army of Burkina Faso in 2009 and quickly began to climb the ranks. He was sent to Morocco for anti-aircraft training before being transferred to an infantry unit in Kaya, a town in Burkina Faso's north. Inspired by the former president's ideal and vision for Burkina Faso, Traore joined the military at a young age. He became known as being very quiet and very talented, driven by a commitment to serve his country. Traore's military career was marked by discipline and dedication, earning him the respect of his peers and superiors. Promoted to lieutenant in 2014, Traore joined MINUSMA, a United Nations peacekeeping force involved in the Mali War. In 2018, he was cited as one of MINUSMA's soldiers who showed courage during major rebel attacks. As a leader, he demonstrated astute political acumen, recognizing the aspirations of Burkinabe people for change and progress. His strong stance against corruption and commitment to justice earned him widespread support among the youth and civil society. Traore was part of the group of army officers that supported the January 2022 Burkina Faso coup d'etat and brought the Patriotic Movement of Safeguard and Restoration military junta to power. From March 2022, he served as the head of an artillery regiment in Kaya, the fifth largest town in the country. Many supporters of the January coup became dissatisfied with the performance of Paul Henry Sandaogo Damiba, the junta's leader, regarding his inability to contain the jihadist insurgency. Burkina Faso is struggling with the 7-year-old jihadist campaign that had claimed thousands of lives, forced nearly 2 million people to flee their homes, and left more than a third of the country outside government control. Traore later claimed that he and other officers had tried to get Damiba to refocus on the rebellion, but eventually opted to overthrow him as his ambitions were diverting away from what we set out to do. The dissatisfaction about the situation was highest among younger officers who fought against the rebels at the front lines. In addition, there were delays in pay for the Cobra troops. When the plotters launched their coup on 30th September, Traore still had the rank of captain. The operation was carried out with support of the Cobra unit. In the direct aftermath of the coup, Traore declared himself the new head of the Patriotic Movement for Safeguard and Restoration. On 6 October, he also assumed the position of Interim President as head of state, supreme head of the armed forces. Speculation has risen that Burkina Faso's new leader may follow other fragile regimes in French-speaking Africa and forge close ties with Moscow at the expense of France, the region's former colonial power and traditional ally. The dramatic takeover coincided with violent anti-French protests and the sudden emergence of Russian flags amongst demonstrators. The United States has warned the junta of the risk of allying with Russia, saying they condemned any attempts to exacerbate the current situation in Burkina Faso. In February 2023, Traoré's government expelled the French forces assisting in fighting the local insurgency from Burkina Faso. He subsequently declared that we really want to look at other horizons because we want win-win partnerships, supporting the diversification of Burkina Faso's international partnerships. Shortly after, Traoré's government expressed support for a federation with Mali and both invited Guinea. All three countries are under military leadership, and if it were to become a union, it will be the largest country ruled by military junta. Traoré has previously said he will stand by a pledge that Damiba gave to ECOWAS for restoring civilian rule by July 2024.
Les questions que mes générations se posent sont les suivantes, si je peux me résumer. C'est de ne pas comprendre comment l'Afrique, avec tant de richesses sur notre sol, avec une nature généreuse, de l'eau, du soleil en abondance, l'Afrique est aujourd'hui le continent le plus pauvre. L'Afrique est un continent affamé. Et comment se fait-il que les chefs d'État traversent donc le monde à mendier? Voici des questions que nous nous posons et que nous n'avons pas de réponse jusque-là. Nous avons l'occasion de tisser de nouvelles relations. Et j'espère que ces relations puissent être les meilleures pour donner un meilleur avenir à nos peuples. Pour ce qui concerne le Burkina Faso, aujourd'hui nous sommes confrontés depuis plus de 8 ans à la forme de manifestation la plus barbare, la plus violente du néocolonialisme, de l'impérialisme. L'esclavage qu'on tend encore à nous imposer.